Welcome to the Pop Century Resort.
Yes, I said we had to do an intro here because I am loving this wall in the kids' room. It's giving me Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy vibes. It's definitely like speaking to my childhood. And that's the
Yeah.
cool thing about Pop Century. It goes through the decades from the 50s to the 90s. So for most of the people like we know in our lives, these things are going to be very memorable
Yeah,
for all of us at some point in one of these sections.
it's going to bring back a lot of childhood memories for you.
Yes.
As I show you the lobby out here, you're going to see all different types of memorabilia all over the walls in these shadow boxes. And then on the other side by the front desk, they have pictures of memorable moments throughout those decades as well. So let's get started and go see what Pop Century has to offer. As you enter the Pop Century Resort, you'll be greeted by all of the artwork and memorabilia all along the walls as you're walking through the main lobby. Take the time to look at these pictures and this memorabilia because you might be reminded of your own childhood. So right next to the lobby is Everything Pop, and this is going to be your gift shop. So let's go in and check it out. So this is a little bit of a smaller gift shop than some of the resorts, but it has everything that you need. It even has the brand new Livin' Our Best Park Life merchandise. I love this style and the colors they have in here. And as you make your way through the gift shop, you'll notice that it is connected directly to the food court. Everything Pop. The Pop Century Food Court is going to have all great options for you, from create your own entree, specialty items to pizza, kids meals, pasta, and you'll also have burgers and sandwiches from the grill, and of course your chicken tenders. And don't forget about the chili cheese foot-long hot dog. They also have a coffee station where you can get some specialty coffees and ice cream, as well as a large selection of pastries and cookies and cupcakes. And I just found this cupcake in the display. This is a plant-based option, walking in a plant-based snowland. While we were here at Pop Century doing the resort tour, we decided to stop into the food court and grab some lunch. So I'm going to show you what we got, and I'm going to let you know how everything tastes as well.
So I always try to find something healthy. They had a section where you could pick a protein and two sides. I got the half a mojo chicken. They also had a beef, salmon, and shrimp option and lots of sides. I chose black beans and rice and a kale salad.
I got one of the burgers they have here, and this is the Cuban burger. So you can't really see much, but it does have a pickle relish on there. It's got provolone cheese, ham, and a burger underneath there, as well as some pulled pork. So I wanted to show you the inside of this sandwich because there wasn't really much to see. So I'm gonna hold it up and hopefully it focuses and you can see the different layers in this burger. So there you got your burger, pulled pork, ham and cheese, and then your relish right up on top. This looks absolutely delicious, and I'll let you know if it is in about 10 seconds. This is delicious. It was worth the wait because, you know, the burger and chicken tender lines are the longest lines in the food court, but it is worth it.
One of my favorite things about eating at the Disney food courts, as opposed to like a table service restaurant, all of the food courts have a TV, so I conveniently situated us with a TV right there, and you can actually eat your meal because your kids are not bored. But also I wanted to tell you a little bit about my food. So it's very good. The chicken is really good, very flavorful. The rice and beans is yummy, and I'm pleasantly surprised by the kale salad because I actually am not a big fan of kale. So I was going out on a whim because it looked really good, and I actually love it. So that's like interesting because kale would not have been my first choice. I was just trying to be extra healthy, but it was a good choice to make.
We had to get dessert because Desiree is in love with an oatmeal cream pie, one of the many fads over the decades. And Lunabelle needed to have this s'mores cookie. Looks absolutely delicious, and you can see that roasted marshmallow right there in the middle. Definitely some good treats to share with the family after a nice meal. Just outside the lobby before we head out to the pool, I want to take you through the arcade real quick because this is a fun spot for everybody to go and enjoy their time here. When you come in, don't forget to grab one of your rechargeable play cards, and keep in mind these do not expire, so if you don't use all of the money on it, then you can bring it back next time on your next visit. They have all different games. They have classic games, newer games. Oh look, Subway Surfers and Temple Run, two of my favorites. And then you have the world's largest Pac-Man. So the first section that we'll be checking out today is the 1950s area of the resort. In the 1950s section, the characters you'll find here are going to be Lady and the Tramp. Farthest building over here, you will find a huge jukebox with all the different songs that were probably popular in the 1950s listed on those signs. In the center of the three buildings, you'll find the leisure pool for this area, which is in the shape of a bowling pin. And there's actually little bowling balls out here, like you're at the bowling alley. So walking around this section of the 1950s, I mean, I wasn't born back then, but I did not realize how popular bowling was in the 1950s. So I just had a question, for our viewers. If you were around in the 1950s, was bowling like a very popular thing, along with like the sock hops? I know that was popular, but was bowling very popular in the 50s? Is that when it started? So as we're leaving the 1950s section, you'll notice it is adorned with these huge bowling pins. In the 1960s, they have the ever-famous Duncan yo-yos. The 1960s buildings, as you can see, are all about peace, love, and flower power. And the two buildings have characters outside. This one isn't really a character, but it's a Play-Doh bottle, because Play-Doh was all the rage in the 1960s. The other building across from the Play-Doh has our favorite Baloo and Mowgli, because yes, the Jungle Book originated in the 1960s.
Your main pool area is going to be located near the food court. This is the Hippy Dippy pool in the 60s section. It is shaped like a flower, and you can see all sorts of peace, love, and hippie flower vibes all around. Also next to the pool area, you do have a gated kiddie splash area. Not a large area, but great for your little ones if they cannot reach the bottom in the big pool.
What is a Disney World pool without a pool bar? So right next to the pool you will find pedals, the pool bar and snack area for Pop Century. There's also a really great photo spot here with Goofy and his surfboard and a Corvette. As we enter the next decade, this is going to be the 1970s, and you'll notice that these big signs out on the corner are actually 8-track stereo cassette tapes. As we're making our way through the 1970s, they have this concrete, well, it's actually that rubber matting, but this is a twister board that you can play here right in the middle of the resort area. The 1970s area, of course, has nods to the disco age and this huge foosball court in the middle. And then over here it says polyester. I guess that really goes along with the disco time. And the two major icons here for the buildings is the big wheel. Everybody I knew had one of these, even when I was a kid in the 80s. And the Mickey telephone. So we have made it to the 80s and 90s section of the Pop Century Resort. Now I'm going to be very honest. This is a little bit of a walk to get to from the main building. There is the parking lot right behind me, but you do have a bus terminal to get to and from the parks fairly close. This next area is the computer age. This is definitely from the 1990s, because if you look in the computer screen, there's a big part in the middle, ABC News. Disney's Animal Kingdom opens today from Orlando, April 22nd, 1998. As you can see, the floppy disks over there to my right, and then this next building is the Sony Walkman building. A great benefit of this 80s, 90s area is the leisure pool. It is fairly large, and you don't have to walk so far to just go for a dip up in the main pool. And the last building here is the Roger Rabbit building. You can also see all of the Pac-Man guys on there all throughout this whole area. Really represents the decade very well. Well, it's time to wrap up our tour of Pop Century.
Yeah, I think this would be a really cool spot to say if you do have like that nostalgia, if you really have a vibe with one decade that just like tugs at your heartstrings, you will be able to see fads and memorabilia from that decade. And like, I have nothing but amazing things to say about the food court.
Yeah, it was amazing.
For a value food court.
It's probably one of the better ones out there.
Yeah, and like your meal you loved, I absolutely loved mine. The kids got the pizza, which you can get at any food court, but they devoured it, and those desserts were really great.
They were, and sort of a specialty item because you can't get that oatmeal cookie at other resorts. And I'm not sure about the s'mores cookie.
I don't think so. I have yet to see it.
That might be a limited time thing here for the s'mores stuff that they've been doing over the winter.
Yeah, and like I am an oatmeal cream pie connoisseur, and like the Wookiee cookie was good, but this one actually blew it out of the water.
I totally agree.
So if you are a fan of the Wookiee cookie, I really suggest you come over to Pop and try their oatmeal cream pie because it was so great. And the one thing that I will always say about the values, you get a lot of seating at those food courts.
You do. There's always plenty of seating.
Yes, so you don't have to fight and find a chair. There's lots, and the TVs around are very beneficial.
Those are clutch.
They are very great for the kids. There's always something for them to see, do, and look at and find, you know, a little place to be. So overall, great resort tour.
Yeah, great resort tour. I feel like it was good, and you know, I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know if you've stayed at Pop Century.
Yes.
What you thought of it.
Yeah. So thank you for watching.
Yes.
And as always,
stay fabulous.